Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. Today I am going to show you how to make calendula salve. So this is basically used in our house as a polysporin. It acts very similar to a polysporin, but it's of course natural. So if you are thinking about growing calendula in your garden this year, here is your sign to do it. Start your seeds now and get it going. So this recipe is very simple. You are going to need 1 cup of calendula oil. You can buy this or outsource it, but I showed you in a recent video, I will link it down below, how to actually make it. It's just oil and your flower petals that you've grown in the garden that have been dried out. So you're going to need a cup of that. Once you have your cup of that, you are going to need beeswax. You want 3 tablespoons of those little like pastel circles that you get. You can again outsource those. If you don't have pastels and you use like a shaved block similar to me, you need 1 ounce. So again, that's 3 tablespoons or 1 ounce of beeswax. And then you are going to need 2 tablespoons of shea butter. So up to you if you want to use shea butter. There's a million great properties in shea butter, and a lot of people use that in their homemade salves as a first go. It's very moisturizing, lots of good benefits, but I actually have chosen in this recipe to use coconut oil. So you need 2 tablespoons of whatever you're using. I chose coconut oil just because I like some of the properties better for healing and for the skin as opposed to the shea butter, but each is fine. It doesn't really matter. The other and last thing you can use, this is totally optional, you do not have to use it, is an essential oil of your choice. So you can use it for just straight fragrance because calendula actually has a very earthy smell if you open this. Very earthy, like almost like a plant smell. You can just tell it's natural. If you're looking to spice that up and change the scent, then you could use just a fragrance oil. I choose not to use fragrance oil. I want something that's actually got some sort of medicinal property in it. So I'm using tea tree in mine. It's one of the best healing and antibacterial oils that you can get, but there's so many. You can put lavender in here, whatever you want, and as you put it in, you can just adjust for your smell, and you can totally change either the smell or the medicinal benefits of your salve. So that's it for the ingredients. In terms of equipment, all you're going to need is a double broiler. If you don't have a double broiler, I don't have one. I've never had one. I always use this method to like melt chocolate or do all of my baking. You take a small pan and a metal bowl. You fill half of your pan with water and you put the bowl on top, and we're going to boil this water in here, and that gives the same type of effect. And then the other thing you're going to need is containers to put the salve when it's done in. So you can use any glass container that's properly cleaned. You can use mason jars. I'm going to put this is a small 125 ml or half a jam jar. I'm going to use this for our home purposes. And then if you want to put them in smaller like travel sizes, you can outsource those as well. So let's go ahead and get this started. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to put this on the stove on high until it gets to boiling. So putting that on high while this is coming to a boil. We've come back over here and we're going to put our ingredients into the top of your broiler, or in my case, the bowl. So I've got my calendula oil, my coconut oil, and then my beeswax all in there. So whether your water is boiling or not, you can throw this on the top as it's going to come to temperature with it. So we're going to go ahead, throw this on the top here. And as this heats up, obviously so will the stuff on the top, and it's going to boil, and it's eventually going to all melt together. So you don't want to boil it too hard. So once the water actually starts to boil, I tend to turn it down because I don't want the contents on the top to actually boil, because we just want to heat it and melt it, not completely boil the ingredients up here, because we don't want to boil out the medicinal properties in this in these ingredients. I hope that makes sense. Water boil, good. Top boil, not good. We just want it warm to melt it. We just usually boil water on the bottom because having that boil gets it nice. Sorry about the shake. Getting that boil really helps to heat this up. So I hope that makes sense. I will show you what I mean as we go. Okay, so as you can see, it is steaming from underneath because the water is almost like pretty much boiling at that point underneath. And our stuff is melting. It's not boiling on the top, but it's just melting into one another. So you are going to continue to melt this down until all of these big chunks are as one. And it is chunk free and it's all incorporated. So we've been at this for about 3 or 4 minutes, waiting for it to all melt down. Now at this point, when you're almost completely free of anything inside of the oil, you're going to very carefully, without putting your face directly in any of this steam, bend down and take a sniff. And the reason we're going to do that is because we want to see how it smells, which I have done. It's still smelling pretty earthy. And at this point, we're going to add those essential oils. So less is more. You want to only add a drop or 2 at a time and continue to smell it, because you can obviously add more, but you cannot take it away. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to start with 2 drops of my tea tree oil. This is the time where, like I said, you can make it smell as strong or as light as you want. So let's start with 2 and see where we're at. So you have 2 options here. You can pour it just directly from here into your containers or whatever you're using. I don't have a spout on here, so I imagine it's going to go everywhere and this is going to be really hot. Or you can ladle it. It's completely however you want to do it, whatever's safe for you, whatever you feel comfortable with. So the last thing you can do, I've poured it into the containers that I'm using, is if you have any of the extra dried calendula laying around, you can use this and sprinkle it on the top just to give it, when it dries, a little extra something something. You'll see it more into the mixture when it dries, which I will show you at the end. But here we are. The calendula salve is made and it's going to sit and harden. I will show you what that looks like when it's done. And here we are. Your calendula salve is hardened. It's a beautiful color. And we are ready to use. We will talk to you soon. Bye.